Hello, I actually added this to the front of the video after I came in one morning and looked at the seats after they had been dyed and finished, and I thought I'd just tell you that these actually look as good if not better than they did before. I just thought I'd mention that because the, I don't know, it just has a certain kind of a, I don't know, what's the word, patina to them that they didn't have when they were new. So check these out. They look really sharp. So whatever you do, don't be afraid to dye that seat. Hello from Blue Collar Bobbers. This is going to be a quick little video to show you how to re-dye your leather seat if it's faded out in the sunshine. I went over to Tandy Leather Company and they told me how to do this process, so I'm going to show you what they told me. So what they said first is to rub the acetone on the seat. Just clean the seat with acetone and then let it dry for 12 hours. He said it has to degas for that long before you put the dye on. So grab your little acetone. You can buy a little container at the hardware store. This seat was red, and it was close to the ocean, so it really took its toll on the color. And then this seat was kind of a caramel brown. So I'm going to go ahead and re-dye these. I'm going to show you the brand of dye that I use, and let's get going. This is the brand of dye that they said is the best. It's Fiebings or Fiebings, F-I-E-B-I-N-G-S. Hope you can see that okay. It's called Pro Dye. They make different types of dye. This is an oil dye, which they said is by far the best. So anyway, this is the red. And then I'm going to use the red, obviously, on the pink seat. And then this is the light brown. I haven't used these before, so bear with me. Light brown, and I'm going to use this dye on the grayish colored one. Be really careful with this stuff too, because it's about like water, so make sure it's in an area where if you spill it, it won't cause any serious stains to your house or something. Okay, so anyway, I used just a soft brush. I think any kind of brush will do. It's just, like I say, it's like water. I put the dye in the bowl, and then I just brushed the seat. Now, I'm not really wild about this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and let it dry, and then I'm going to put a second coat on it, because it's just a little blotchy and a little kind of not quite the color I want yet. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to recoat it, and I'll be back. Well, make sure you wear some gloves too. Oh, by the way, I get this stuff at Tandy Leather Company, or you can order it online also. This seat is sat for about 6 hours, and I'm going to recoat it. Now, before you do that, take a paper towel or a rag and rub off the excess residue off from the seat. You'll notice that there's a fair amount of dye that comes off, and before you ride the bike, you'll want to do that too. So wipe that off, and then I'm going to recoat this. Now I'm doing the light brown on this kind of a grayish, tannish colored seat. I'm just going to keep going over and over it here. As it dries a little bit, I'm just going to keep going over it. Hopefully that'll kind of make it all uniform, because I think it soaks in really quick and kind of starts drying, and then I'm just going to keep going over until it's kind of even. I was a little leery of this until I kind of started brushing on and kind of letting it dry a little bit, and now I kind of like it. It has kind of a real leathery, kind of almost a distressed look to it. So I think it's going to come out really cool. And there's the finished products. Man, I really like the brown, and I really like the red too. The cool thing about the brown is it doesn't seem to rub off once you put the stain or the dye on there. You can take a rag and you get a little residue, but not much. As with the red, there's quite a bit of residue left over, so you have to rub really hard to get it off, because you don't want to leave it all over the back of your pants. Now, one thing I would definitely recommend on the red is to get the same company, the Fiebings. They sell Resoline, or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it, that's how it's spelled. And then it comes in neutral, black, or brown. So you may want to get that for sure and coat it over the red, because it seems like that red comes off quite a bit, so that kind of seal it. It's just kind of a clear coat. And then you may want to get it also for the brown, just to kind of keep it from coming off. Maybe it may last a little longer, the dyes, but for sure I would get it on the red. So there you have it. The other colors are really cool too. I did a seat with the Pro, I think it's called the deep brown or whatever it is, but anyway, it came out really cool too. So there you have it. Keep us posted and let us know what you think. Have a good one. Bye-bye.